People often talk about higher reality, spirituality, spiritual values. But what is spirituality? Some will say that spirituality is art, poetry, music. Others that it's getting closer to Mother Nature. Some people call the feeling of love spirituality. Some will say that it's philosophy. One person told me that for him, the highest spirituality is fishing. But most of those who say that spirituality is music will insist that heavy rock is not spirituality. So, not all music is spirituality? Who determines which music is and which isn't? Those that say that spirituality is getting closer to nature don't consider farmers to be the most spiritual people for some reason. And equating love to spirituality has become the best cover for sexual perverts. So, what is spirituality? Does it have an objective definition? There's an interesting statement in Hasidut. Caring for the material needs of another person is your spirituality. Kabbalah explains that the most striking difference between a soul and a body, and accordingly spiritual needs and material needs, is that a body, like everything material, is egocentric. It takes care of itself, but a soul is altruistic. My soul pushes me to help others to the detriment of myself. My soul compels me to do what's right when it's against my own interests. I think everyone will agree that helping a stranger is a spiritual act. But here's a question. What does it have to do with music, art, philosophy, or fishing? Nothing. I go to the opera because I like it. I visit an art gallery because I want to satisfy my desire. I read philosophy books because I enjoy it. I do it for myself. There's no spirituality there whatsoever. I suspect that at some point in history, the educated elite wanted to create standards that would distinguish their hobbies from the activities of ordinary folk. And they created this pseudo-spirituality. They imply that what we like is something sublime and your hobbies are lowly. From the point of view of Judaism, the main characteristic of spirituality is selflessness. A deed I do for someone else with no benefit for myself. That is why the Torah talks so much about donations, helping others. But here's a question. I often give money to someone because I want to help this person. I, by doing so, satisfy my feeling of pity. There is, I still benefit from my action. It is not completely selfless. I have an emotional gain. Therefore, the greatest manifestation of spirituality is an act done not because I emphasize with someone, not because I want to do it, but because God commanded me to do it. It is ordered from above. And this is why without religion, everything I do is because I want it or because I think that's what I should do. I do it for myself. But here's a problem. What I do only because what I'm told, I usually do without my feelings, without any emotion. I do it because I'm told. So it turns out that usually we think that spirituality should be associated with some deep emotions. But in reality, the opposite is true. What I do without any emotions, just because I'm told to do it, could be the most spiritual act. Sometimes I hear people say, I did something and I didn't feel anything spiritual in it. Well, maybe this is the reason why I didn't feel anything, because it was real spirituality.